Hi there, Steve Arterburn here, and I have one of my favorite people in the entire world, and we're going through this Corona thing together. Amelia Pearl Arterburn. Now, Amelia's got a birthday coming up. I'm excited about that. But Amelia is going to talk, well, we're going to talk about a lot of things. But I wanted her to kind of give us a kid's view of what it's like going through this, see if there might be some insight that you might want to, well, maybe it would help you relate to your kids or some ideas or things like that. But Amelia is one fun, athletic, darling daughter. Amelia, welcome to my Facebook Live podcast.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me here.
You are welcome. So, this is really quite a big change. And I was wondering, maybe you could talk about what's been the most difficult thing. All of a sudden you're going to school, you got all your friends, everything's coming together, and then boom, don't come, stay home, don't talk, don't touch anybody. Well, what has that felt like, or what's been the toughest part?
The toughest part for me is really not being able to see my friends as much and not doing my sports that I love.
Yeah. And what is your favorite sport?
Rock climbing. I rock climb.
Yeah, and you even compete, and you're really good, and then all of a sudden, no.
Yeah, so I do Zoom calls with my class and my team for rock climbing, so that it's better that way because I can still see them.
Yeah. And then you have a friend, you guys do a lot of FaceTiming together, and that's good. What else do you do, just like pass the time and stuff? What's been fun for you during this time?
So I have a Nintendo Switch, so a lot of times I'll just go off somewhere and just play that for a few hours.
Yeah. And do your parents limit that at all, or do they tell you you can just use it all you want? And
Well, I have to do 30 minutes of piano before after 12 before I can do electronics or whatever.
Okay, so the rule is nothing before noon, and then nothing until you've done your practicing the piano.
We can have electronics before noon, but after noon we have to do piano, and then we can do it.
I see. Okay. Now, you have a big brother, and he's 22, and a lot of people talk about how games and stuff are really bad for you and everything, but there's been a really good side of this, hasn't there, with him?
Yeah, I have been playing with my brother on the Switch. It's really fun because he's just there with me, so we can talk and do stuff like that.
Yeah, so you guys have kind of connected over one particular game that you both like, even though you're 12 years apart.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so great. And also, he's done something else with you.
I have a song that I came up with actually quite a long time ago, and so we are just recording that and getting the basics of it down.
You wrote the song.
I wrote the song.
Yeah. Now, you've also written something else, too, you were telling me about. You're in the midst of writing your first book.
Yes, I am writing a book.
I'm kind of happy about that. Yeah.
It's like a fantasy book. It's like this one girl has no family. She has a family, but they can't talk because something happened in the world. There was this crazy scientist, and he just kind of destroyed the world. So I was saying it's kind of like the world right now. You can't really do anything. So.
And so this the girl's mother quit talking, or couldn't ever talk.
Well, she could talk, and then the incident happened, and then she finally talked.
She did talk?
She did talk.
Wow. Okay. Well, we'll have to, you finish that book, and we'll hear more about it. But so you're writing, you're doing some games, connecting with your older brother. Now, you've got another brother, James. Have you guys done anything together?
We have. He actually taught me how to rollerblade. So I've been doing a lot of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then your dad and you guys kind of do a little
We
bike.
go on really fun bike rides to all these amazing places and everything. We went to Coxall Garden to hear the clock bells when it turned a certain hour. So.
And you figured out the scavenger hunt.
I
you
did figure
you got
out
the
the
final.
scavenger
There was a scavenger
Yeah.
hunt set up by some people out in the community. We went to the clues, and then she found the last one. We love those bike rides, and I think last time we almost went 8 miles or something like
We
that.
did. We went
Yeah.
7.5 miles.
And on your birthday, you're hoping to get a bike that comes with a phone. I think that was what you were thinking about there. So, and then before we started talking, you said that there have been some really good things that have come from this coronavirus time. And what are some of those things that you've experienced that are good things?
I have been able to spend a ton more time with my family because of being home from the coronavirus instead of always being at school and stuff. And now I get 4-day weekends
4-day
with
weekend.
hardly any subjects.
No, that's
It's
good.
cool.
That's got to be really powerful. And I've just noticed you and James spending time together. He's got a hammock, just and that's been great to see. You've got 2 older brothers. They really put into you. I think you're really fortunate for that. Some people don't have that, and maybe they're not having a very good time. Maybe it's a big struggle. What would you say to somebody your age or maybe younger, older, to encourage them or suggest anything to them? What would you say to somebody?
I would say, even though it is a very sad time, I always try and put it in a positive attitude, like spending time with my family and being able to take breaks in school whenever I want. It's totally fine to be sad, but I wouldn't make it the whole thing just sadness. I try and make it really happy and
Yeah,
positive.
so what I hear you saying is feel the feelings. I mean, if you're sad, feel it.
Yeah.
But then also make the best of it and do some fun things, some happy things. Well, I tell you, I've enjoyed our time together, and I've enjoyed getting to talk to you, and I hope that somebody would take your advice. It's tough. You can be sad, but make the best out of it. Yeah. And I see you always working hard to make the best out of situations.
Thank you.
And I'm really glad you're my daughter. Thanks for that interview. Well, a little bit different Friday night here at the old Facebook Live with Steve Arterburn. If you have a young person around, or if you know somebody, encourage them and be with them and spend time with them. If there's conflict, try to help them work through it. And really, it's a great time for people to be depositing love into their family. We're a blended family. And when I see these great older guys putting in to Amelia and Solomon, I'm just so thankful. When I met them, they were in this little house that my wife, we weren't married then, she had purchased this house. There was a little chair there. I mean, by the time they were 6, she'd read Chronicles of Narnia to them and the Bible and stuff, and they just have such great character and so full of love, and they're sharing that love, and Amelia is just getting to benefit from that, and she's enjoying it, and she's a great creative young woman. I think every child has something that they could do to be creative, and you've really found so many things: the music, the sports, your writing. Encourage kids to do what maybe you could never expect that they could do and do well. And I think everybody's going to benefit from it. If you need some help, please call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. I hope and pray you have a great weekend. And I'll be right back here same time on Monday. And don't forget to join us every weekday on New Life Live, 1 o'clock Eastern Time, Sirius XM, channel 131. See you then. Great job. Enjoyed that.